What's going on, everyone? Golden to History coming to you here from Oak Hill Cemetery in Claremont, Florida. We've been here about 3 or 4 times before, and this is one of those locations where I've been multiple times, and I've been here when I haven't filmed, looking for a specific final resting place. One of the things you realize if you find yourself going out in the cemetery safari is that sometimes it's super easy, especially with things like find a grave. We know we can go in, we can figure out which cemetery someone's laid to rest at. Well, a lot of times other people have gone before and have given us even GPSs to go directly to the final resting place site, down to within a few feet in many cases, which is fantastic, especially when you're not familiar with an area. Like, for example, when I went down to Fort Lauderdale and I filmed the Rocky Marciano grave, it took me directly to his final resting place, which helped out tremendously. As well as when I was in Arlington, in Virginia, when I went up to Washington, D.C. in the summer and I filmed. It helped out tremendously when I was able to take and make these connections. So, what I'm here today is we have come to the end of a search. We've come to the end of a search. This is a cemetery I've been to multiple times because, according to online, it is the final resting place of a few very prominent known people. Some people in politics, some people in community, and one individual who's very well known in the sports realm, by the name of Knafelc. He was a long-standing player for the Green Bay Packers. He eventually became a long-standing announcer. He eventually retired a few years ago, found himself living here in Claremont, Florida, unfortunately passing away in the summer. So I've been coming here for the last 7 months or so, trying to find his final resting place, walking up each and every single row, spending hours here, trying to look for any spot that could be just slightly disturbed. You know, in some cases, especially more prominent people, they don't always put their name. Sometimes it's just an unmarked grave, which I was prepared for. Someone of his prominence, probably just wanted to be left alone, spend his entire life in the limelight, in the spotlight. Wanted to spend his resting years more in a quiet, somber place, I guess you could say. That's what I was prepared for. So today I decided I was in the area. I made a phone call. So I called the number to get in contact with the cemetery to see if maybe they could help me. And you could do that too. For example, if things like Find a Grave or other online websites are not necessarily satisfying your search, you can call directly to the cemeteries, and a lot of times they will help you. And a few things normally happen in that scenario. First thing is, a person could be extremely accommodating and be willing to help you, which I ran into. The lady was extremely nice, courteous, told her what I was trying to do, told her what I've been working on, told her that I saw online that it showed that this was the final resting place of this individual, but I have not been able to find it, so I didn't know if he was in an in-ground burial, if he was in the niche gardens, because there is an area where there's some niche gardens as well as some areas where cremains can be placed. So I thought maybe that's there. So I called, and unfortunately they have no record of any interment here in the cemetery, which is the first thing. So a lot of times they could either say that, and it could be true, that there is no person by that name on record, which is possible. Number two, they could say that, and the person could actually be here, they just want to protect the privacy of the individual. That happens sometimes too. Sometimes maybe the family says, hey, if someone calls about this, just tell them there's nobody there. That does happen sometimes. I don't think that's happening in this case, but it sometimes happens. And the third most likely culprit, I guess you could say, is one that I was about 95% sure of to begin with, but I still wanted to seek out and try to find this final resting place to pay my respects, was that a lot of times when services are provided, the host cemetery, even if it doesn't even happen at the cemetery, whatever the host cemetery is used to either carry out the cremations or alternative burials, a lot of times they are placed as the final resting place, even if the person's remains are not here. And I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened. His family probably had him cremated, and his cremains, his ashes are probably with a loved one. Maybe they were sprinkled somewhere. Maybe they took him up to Green Bay, and maybe they're engrossed within the field. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened. is that they use this as the host cemetery where the services were carried out. Whether or not they actually physically had them here and then took his body somewhere else, I don't know. I haven't been able to find any records on that. But that seems like the most likely outcome, was that this was the host cemetery, so they needed to have something to put down, so they put the cemetery down, Oak Hill Cemetery in Claremont, Florida, because he did live here. So, unfortunately, if you came to this video hoping that I found the video, or found the final resting place, unfortunately that did not happen. I did not find it. I'm pretty sure he was probably cremated and someone has his remains, or he's been sprinkled somewhere that he wanted to be. But what I can say is that we are here. It's a beautiful day in January. I'm sitting here at a nice park bench, as you can see right underneath me. Someone has donated to the cemetery, and we're paying our respects in a different way. Normally, I'd take you to the grave, talk about it, leave my penny. I don't know how to do it this one. I don't know. Just have to think about it. But I may add some voiceovers, adding a little bit about his life to this video. I may do something separately. But if you like this video, subscribe. Hit the like button, turn on the notifications bell, and I look forward to seeing you guys all later. Have a great day, everyone. Sorry about that brief intermission. I paused because there was a car coming my way, and I was kind of blocking them. They ended up turning around and going the opposite way. But there is no final resting place here for me to leave a penny. So what I want to do something a little bit different. I want to take the penny that we always leave. This so happens this penny is a 1970 penny. Gary Knafelc played in the 1970s, 60s into the 70s. So it's fitting that we're leaving a penny from that era here. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it as one of these nice trees. There's some nice trees around us, so I think I'm going to take this penny and I'm going to place it by a nice tree. And I want to take you guys along with me. Let's go. So I'm sitting here, and this tree right here looks like a fitting tree to leave a penny at. The question is where? You know what? I may take this penny and I may just stick it in there, that way it doesn't just blow. And what we could do is maybe in a few months we could come back and see if it's still here. Seeing that there's not a final resting place to leave it at, I think it's fitting. Put the penny right here. See if it stays. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this quick little video. As always, continue with the history and film. Happy New Year, everyone. Have a great day. Catch you in the next video. Thanks again for all this.